I'm Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, by way of the great state of Pennsylvania. We'll get into that. Please welcome from season 6 of The Voice, Audra McLaughlin. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Fletcher?
Good. Welcome to KIX96.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
All right, so I did mention that you're originally from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
What part?
I'm actually from right outside of the Philadelphia area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually lived near there.
Oh, nowhere. Where?
Around a place called Thorndale, Downingtown.
Oh, yeah.
For like a year, I lived there when I was in junior high. And if you've never hung out in that part of Pennsylvania, it really is beautiful country up there. My mother used to always take us to the farmers market, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm assuming, did you grow up? Was it rural? Your part of Pennsylvania, was it rural? Was it urban?
I guess you could say it's rural. Well, it's Delaware County, so I'm trying to think. It's just I guess a rural.
A little bit more rural than Philly, for sure.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I'm like, it was Delaware County. It's a small town in Glenwood, Pennsylvania. So it's like, I'd say 20 minutes from Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, so how does a girl from a small town in Pennsylvania end up in Nashville, Tennessee?
You know, I get asked that question a lot. It's funny. I just grew up, listening to a lot of different genres of music. Everywhere from country to rock and roll to soul. And, I spent a lot of time just singing all these different genres, and country music was always the genre that, I love to sing, and soul. And I somehow found a way to mix the two. And, I grew up performing my whole life and locally, and then I got the opportunity to be on The Voice in 2014 on Blake Shelton's team. And, he's like, you need to be in Nashville. This is where you need to be, and you just have like a country voice, which makes no sense because I'm from the Philly area. Yeah. But I think music nowadays, it's just, you don't have to be from the South, to have like that twang or that soul or anything in your voice. It just comes from. I just say it comes from God. I don't know where it comes from.
Well, you've actually been singing since you were a little girl.
Absolutely, since I was like 8 years old. Yeah, it's been a long journey. I started singing when I was a kid. I got involved in vocal lessons, and then
you actually fronted a rock band for a while too.
I did. Yeah, I did. I know. I never know how people are gonna take that. It's like,
it's totally cool. I'm a rock and roller, so I'm a rock and roller. I'm cool.
But that's what I'm saying. I love different genres of music, and I loved rock and roll for a long time, and I still do. I love everything. And I was in a rock band, an all original rock band, for like 2 years, and then I was in a country band, and then I was in some cover bands, and then I went solo, and I started to find out who I was, like, as I continued to test the waters of different genres of music, and and country and soul were the two that just kept fitting with me.
Well, there's country and soul are very connected, much like country and rock and roll are connected.
Absolutely.
So, all right, the 2014 season 6 of The Voice, how did that happen?
So I started taking vocal lessons at a local school in my area, and they had an opportunity for the Voice auditions coming up, and they asked if I'd be interested in trying out, and we prepared with my vocal coach at the time for like 2 months, and they sent my video in to get like a possible private audition. So I ended up getting a call back. I had to go to New York City first for my first audition, and after that, I got a call back a few weeks later to fly out to LA to try out in front of all the producers, and then it was the blind auditions, and I just kept going and going and going. So it was like, it was crazy to me. I was like, is this like really happening?
Yeah, really.
I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And I just kept taking it like, one step at a time. And, the funny thing too is I tried out for season 1 of The Voice, and I didn't make it. And then I just went on, singing and performing places and trying out for all kinds of different shows. And then The Voice happened, and I ended up making it to the top 6.
Absolutely, and you've gotten a lot of attention from that. Yeah. And one of the things that I was really impressed with in reading about you was that with the attention that you got, you still find a way to parlay that into like public service. I mean, with the childhood diabetes, work with veterans, anti-bullying. Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about all that. What drives that in you?
Absolutely. For me, music is a healing process, and for me, like, I've always wanted to be able to help somebody, through my music, and You know, for me growing up, I had a learning disability, and I was bullied, and you know, I went through a lot of different struggles, self-esteem issues, no confidence, you know, depression, and a lot of different things. And as I got older and built more confidence, I wanted to be involved in organizations that I could help people, you know, going through different struggles, whether it was, you know, bullying, or I'm very involved in a lot of veteran, like so many, I do tons of veteran events and anti-bullying events. Mm-hmm. So those are definitely two of the ones that, you know, I'm very involved in, and I've just loved to be able to speak about it and kind of let people know that, you know, whatever you've been through growing up, you know, anything, you can follow a dream and you can get through it, you know, any way. So yeah, I've just loved to be a part of, you know, organizations that I can actually be a voice for and help other people.
Sounds like you're doing really, really good work.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for actually, you know, taking the celebrity that you've gained and making that work, you know, in those areas.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about your music now. Let's come to your single, Boomerang.
Sure, absolutely.
What is this song about?
So Boomerang is... It's about a breakup, you know.
Okay.
Cliche. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think, you know, everybody's been through something where they kept going back to, whether it was, I mean, it really could be about anything. It could be about, you know, going back to, you know, a friend or somebody that has treated you unkind, and you just continue to keep going back and forth and back and forth. And finally one day you have to decide like whether to let go or not. And for me at the time when I heard that song in a pitch session, I was listening to a bunch of different songs. I heard that, and at that time I was going through a breakup where I just kept giving this guy like the same chance over and over again, and I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. So when I heard that song, it related to that time of my life. So that's what Boomerang's about. It's
like the relationship I have with pizza.
Hey, me too. I like have to try to cut it out for a while, but then it's like now.
But yeah, it calls, and I'm like, what do you want, pizza? And Pizza's like, I don't know, I thought I'd come over and hang out. And I'm like, no, it's never just hanging out.
What's your favorite topic?
Oh.
Everything?
We won't go there. Some things are just not for the camera.
Right.
So the single is Boomerang. If you want to hear it, make sure you call us at KIX96. We'll be happy to play it for you. And is the album available, or is that still forthcoming?
No, that's still forthcoming. We're working on recording a bunch of different songs right now. We're still in the process of picking songs. And
who's producing? Who are you working with?
Jim, actually, my manager. He's doing it all. He's my producer, my manager. He's basically the tour manager. He cooks breakfast.
According to him, he makes food. You know,
on this radio tour,
do you sew as well?
That's the one thing I don't do.
Okay.
Well, he could leave that to me. I mean, I could sort of maybe figure that out.
Well, if folks want to find you on the internet, where do they look?
Yeah, so you could go to my website at audramclaughlin.com, and all my social media networks are attached to my website. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest.
She's on all the things.
Everything.
All the things. So Audra McLaughlin is our guest. Look for a live performance from her elsewhere here on our channel. If you want to hear the single, Boomerang, call us. We'll be happy to play it for you. Audra, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you so much, Fletcher. I appreciate it.
And we'll see you next time on another artist video blog, KIX96country.com.